Why a whole region of Turkey lives inside the rock. We habitually picture building as an active addition. You clear a site, then you stack stones, raise a timber frame, or lay brick on brick. You put something up. Cappadocia offers a different model. Here, architecture was redefined as a subtraction. People carved straight into the cliff face, hollowing out thousands of rooms. Continuous human habitation in these troglodyte villages reaches back to at least the 4th century AD. By abandoning the instinct to build upward, this society recognized a geological advantage. The cliff face was a finished structure, waiting to be emptied. The ground itself made this possible. Roughly 20 million years ago, 3 major volcanoes erupted, burying the plateau under enormous blankets of ash. Over time, that ash compacted into a soft, porous stone called tuff. In many places, it was capped by harder basaltic lava, which eroded to leave behind tall columns, the famous fairy chimneys. But the crucial property of tuff is a paradox. It is soft enough to be cut with a hand tool, yet it hardens further once exposed to the air. The geology effectively turned the landscape into a pre-cut quarry, providing a material that simplified the work of construction. Moving inside, you find complete multi-level settlements, dwellings, stables, vast storerooms, and entire monasteries with painted walls. Creating these spaces required none of the usual components: no timber frame, no quarried stone blocks, no fired bricks, no mortar to mix. On a naturally treeless plateau, the logistical advantage of needing zero imported material allowed for the creation of vast inhabited landscapes. When the wall is the cliff and the roof is the hill, a house requires no imported material at all. This diagram illustrates the subterranean climate. On the surface, temperatures swing wildly, but just a few meters deep, fluctuations flatten entirely. The Earth acts as a thermal buffer. Inside, the annual variation stays locked within a tiny 1 to 2 degree window. While the surface endures brutal baking summers and freezing winters, the interior remains remarkably mild year-round. A Cappadocian cave is a built-in passive climate machine. It stays cool in the summer and mild in the winter, with no fuel, no fire, and no shading devices. The Earth does the work. When external threats arrived, like Arab raids and later Mongol incursions, the local population took the logic of subtraction and pushed it vertically downward. Beneath the surface villages hide true underground cities. Derinkuyu is the most famous, plunging roughly 85 meters deep into the earth. Across 18 subterranean levels, this complex could shelter as many as 20,000 people. They brought their livestock, filled cellars with grain, and built intricate ventilation shafts to keep the air breathable. The complex was heavily secured. Passages were protected by massive circular stone doors, weighing anywhere from 200 to 500 kilograms. Set into wall slots, these heavy stone wheels were rolled across the corridor during an attack. Once shut, they could only be opened from inside. These cities represent intelligent defensive engineering, designed by populations who use the void to disappear. Ascending back out, it becomes clear that this is a living tradition, not a museum exhibit. Cave hotels and family homes carved straight into the rock remain common across modern Cappadocia today. We assume a house must be a physical object placed onto the world. Here, the house is a void. For thermal control, material efficiency, and survival, the cleverest way to build was to dig. If a house can be made by carving instead of building, what else are we doing the hard way out of pure habit?